guys are going into groups today anyway. Let's get started with this, okay? So we are doing a reading class. It's vocabulary for part C. And I'll start the recording to the cloud and we'll get going. Okay, so this is OET reading. It's vocab for part C. And I want to share my screen with you guys and just tell you that what we're going to do today is we'll talk a little bit about guessing from context. Then I'm going to put you in groups. And the way I like to teach vocab is to get you guys to guess the meaning of the vocabulary. Okay, so first thing today, we'll talk about this. This is a skill, really, this skill of guessing from context. Part 2, group vocab. Part 3, we'll talk about answers. Okay, so this is what we're trying to do. Let's get started with guessing from context. I want to show you guys an example of this. Let me just put this here. Second. Let's just start with what is guessing from context in OET. You're in your OET exam, and we're talking about guessing from context. Nusa, could you say hello, or Parsila?
Yeah, hello.
What is that? What am I talking about today?
Try to find out a specific word, maybe in order to find the answer easily.
So okay, so we're going to try to find out the blank of a word, right? In order to get the answer. I like
meaning.
This.
Meaning of the word.
And the word you need here is meaning. Okay. So does this happen to you guys? Do you have to guess sometimes the meaning of a word?
Yes.
Yes. Of course. Yeah, exactly. And it's not rocket science, but there's some basic tips I can give you for guessing the meaning of a word from context. Okay, so let's just go through this, what they might be. I've got an example sentence here. Oops. And I want you guys to have a look at this. He is a goofy bosher. I don't know why I made this word. Is this a real word? Is this a real word? Does it sound real to you?
No.
It's not real. Okay, so let's say it's this. Okay, so if I'm looking at this, Andrea, is there really any way for me to get to guess what this means?
I think it's an adjective.
So even with one small sentence, we can start to think about the meaning of it. Why do you say that maybe it's an adjective?
It's a description. He's something.
What do we think, guys? Is she right? So we can think about word. We call this word type, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be an adjective, or if you know your grammar with the be verb, it can also be
name.
It could be a noun, so a name, yeah. Like he is a doctor. He is a doctor. Is that an adjective?
No, it's a noun.
Noun, right?
No.
So, but you're right. If we're trying to guess the meaning of a word, the first thing we can do is just think: is this a verb? Is it a noun? What is the word type? Okay. Now, can I have Banuna? Can you say hello, Banuna?
Yes, hello.
What if I put here, right? ER. What do we call that?
Suffix.
It's a suffix. Okay. So do suffixes help us guess the meaning, Daniela? Does a suffix help me if I'm just trying to guess the meaning of a word? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So ER, what does ER stand for?
No.
He is a doctor. He is a footballer.
Teacher. Yeah.
Yeah. So just from looking at ER, maybe Andrew, you might want to change it now. Maybe it's not an adjective now because you can see the suffix is ER, right? Which is usually for
A noun.
Even now.
professions. Yeah, noun profession. Okay, so we can look at the prefix, we can look at the suffix or also the prefix. What is a prefix, guys? Anyone know?
Before the
Before the noun.
Before the word.
So it might say, give an example of a prefix.
Impossible.
Well,
Im. I am, yeah? Or intra. What does intra mean? Does anyone know what intra means?
Inside.
Inside something.
it's like inside, or it can mean between two things, right? So suffixes and prefixes can help to give you the meaning, okay? So we think about the word type. Is it a noun? Is it an adjective? We also think about the suffix and the prefix. Another easy way, very simple way to think about the meaning of a word is, what if I said this? Andrea, if you could come back.
Yes.
What if we say, he is a goofer, I hate him, right?
It's negative.
It's
Something
negative, right? So we can think about, is this word good or bad, or what?
Neutral.
Neutral, right? Okay, so good, bad, neutral. You can often guess that. What does neutral mean, guys?
Not bad,
Not-
not good. Just thing.
Between.
In between.
In between.
In the middle.
What about Mrs. and Miss? Is there a neutral term for Mrs.?
Miss, yeah.
Is married, right?
Mhm.
Miss
Miss.
is unmarried.
Oh.
What's the neutral term?
Ms. MS.
Right, thank you, right? Ms. That's how, we say it with a Z sound. This is neutral, right? We don't know. It's neutral. Okay, so you can ask yourself, is this word good, bad, or neutral? Is this word an adjective? Is this word a noun? Is this word an adverb, etc., etc.? You can also, the most important thing you can do, though, is something much more powerful than this. What is the most powerful way to guess the meaning of a word?
The category.
From the
Synonym.
context.
Synonym.
Synonyms.
Well, you were right. Synonyms. What do you mean synonyms, though, actually? Synonyms.
Similar name. Meaning.
Difference word, the same meaning.
I'm going to say, someone said category. It's category. I agree with this. Or
Yeah.
maybe synonym as well. But look, I'm going to say context, obviously, is what we're looking at. But when I say context, what do I mean context? What does that mean here?
Look around.
Look,
Noun.
Current
clues,
situation.
find out.
So, for example, what if this says, I wrote down an example here so you guys can guess this. What if this said something like, he never thinks about me. He is a goofy bosher. All right, what does it mean now, maybe?
Something
The
negative.
selfish.
Selfish.
You can kind of use this as well, can't you? You can think, well, it's probably bad from the context, yeah?
Mhm.
Okay. When it comes to context guessing, what I strongly recommend is try to imagine that the word is not there. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Imagine it is not there. What would you put in the place? So, for example, guys, if I put this here, if I put this as blank, what does it mean? He is a, well, it's something bad.
Selfish.
Maybe selfish, Amajan. Why selfish? Because
Description. Yeah.
There are things.
never thinks about me. Okay.
Think about.
Now, sometimes we can predict the exact word, but sometimes we can't, right?
Baby Jello.
What if this says something like, he is always on the top, or he is always on the path? Is it clear now what he is at?
No.
Maybe let's get up.
No.
He rides a motorbike. He is a blank. In this case, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to put in here. I can't really guess the word, can I? I can't guess the word. But what I can do is I can guess the category.
Category, yeah.
So, Mary, this is what you were saying before. Guess the category. What does that mean?
It's not me, but something.
Yeah, it's okay.
About-
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
Sorry, I thought you mentioned something that as well. So, Frank also said this.
Mhm.
What does it mean, the category?
Category, that means it can be, for example, food category, medication, professions, different categories.
Yeah, so we're thinking about the general kind of concept that this word could be, right? Some kind of, so if I say, for example, I don't know, he loves, he loves to jump out of planes. Okay, so this is more difficult now. We can't really guess what the word is going to be. But what's the category? He is a, what could it be?
Type of sport or something.
Now, it could be a
job, isn't it?
Skydiver.
could be a job,
Weekends.
couldn't it? It's
Yeah.
possible as a job, but it could also just
Sports.
As a
Well,
hobby, as
activity.
a
be, yeah,
hobby.
maybe he's like it could be like thrill seeker. Does anyone know what that means? Thrill seeker?
Yeah.
Or
Like
it
you love danger, right? So this could be a
it
character
shows
as well.
ability also.
It could also be an ability, like he is very strong and
Very
brave.
clever.
Yeah. You see what I mean? We cannot guess the word, but we can guess it's going to be a job, or maybe it's a character, what he's like, his personality, or maybe it's his ability. Okay. Today, we're going to practice guessing meaning from context. And I want you guys to try to use all three of these ways. Okay. Ask yourself, is the word good, bad, or neutral? Ask yourself, is the word an adjective, a noun, verb, adverb? Okay. Ask yourself, is there a suffix? Is there a prefix? Does that tell me anything? But most importantly, of course, ask yourself, what is the context? Can I guess the category, even if I cannot guess the specific word? Okay. So this is kind of the introduction. This is an introduction to our class. And I'm going to start off by just giving you an example of this. Let's have an example of guessing meaning from context. And then I'll put you guys into groups and you guys can do this independently. Okay. So I want to look at this table now. Can everyone see this table?
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, Sarmila, could you read that sentence? What does it say here? Let me just change the page. More than?
The 20 initiatives were launched by the hospital.
Okay, so what does launch mean? I think probably we already know what launch means. Can anyone tell?
Started.
Start.
Okay.
Introduce something.
Yeah, often we say launch, sometimes it's more formal, but it means start. Okay. Now, let's get the meaning from the context, right? What do you guys think that this might mean? Initiatives. Anyway.
Project.
Creativity.
Safi, go on.
Creativity.
Ideas.
Creative. One second. So, Safi, you're saying creativity. Okay. But that's you're focusing too much on the word, yeah, because to have initiative can mean to be creative, but this is a noun, not the adjective. Okay. So what is it that hospitals start? Imagine it's
Changes, new changes.
yes, it's much better. Safi.
Yeah, new idea.
An initiative is like a change in policy, something like that, right? Or a change in procedure.
Mainly the positive changes, not negative changes.
Yeah, well, you can ask, is it good or bad? This is probably
Initiatives always could be positive rather than negative.
usually they're good or neutral, right? But they're not normally bad. Did everyone see what we just did there, right? We just blanked it out and we were able to guess it from looking at the context. Okay. Now, I want you guys to do this in your groups. I know that some of you have very, very good vocabulary in this class. So Hussein has fantastic vocabulary. Many of our Afghan doctors have really good vocab. So if you already know the word, what are you going to do? You're going to teach that to the other people in your groups. Okay, so there's really two activities here. We're going to go into groups and you will either guess the meaning from context or you can teach the meaning if you know it already. But if you do teach it, make sure that you are very certain about the meaning, okay? Otherwise, you should just guess. Is everyone clear about what I want you guys to do? I want you guys to go into groups now and guess meanings. Anyone got any questions? All right, let's try this, okay? I've got a lot of words. I'll try and put them all on the screen. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen now. Here you go. And I'm going to open the groups now, guys. Please go in the rooms, say hello, start guessing meaning from context. Think about all of the things we discussed: suffixes, good, bad, neutral, word type, and context. Please join the rooms now and start discussing. Off you go.
Hello, Alan.
Hello.
Can you put in the group for us the screen, because you don't have that exercise?
Yeah, it's just sometimes there's a technical fault. So let's try again. If you rejoin the room, Adnaya, so you're in room 3, right? Let me just change you to another room and then I'll put you back. It should work now. Hi, is that Ambreen? Can you say hello, Ambreen? Ambreen.
Yes, hello, Alan.
Okay, so I saw your message.
Yes.
Okay, so there's no previous class to this one. Okay, so all you need to do is go into the group and try to guess the meaning from the context. Okay, does that make sense?
Okay, I will join. Yeah, I will join.
Ambreen, if you go onto the website, you should watch please watch the introduction videos. Okay, because they explain very clearly that the live classes are different from the video course. Live classes, we are practicing. Video courses, we are learning from the beginning, learning something new. So please go and watch there's a button on the website that says confused. Go and watch the videos. Please spend a bit of time on that. It's explained very clearly. All right?
Sure, we'll do that. Thank you, Alan.
No worries. So if you just join now, have a chat to the people.
Yeah, I will join now. Sure.
No, I'll just check that everyone's okay here. Andrea, I'm going to put you in room 6, actually. Okay, guys, I'd like you to finish what you're doing and just come immediately back to the main room. And I'll go through all this vocabulary with you, and we can have a chat as well. Feel free to ask me questions. So just stop what you're doing, please, and come immediately back to the main room. All right. Hello, everyone. Can you all hear my voice?
Yes.
Yep.
Fantastic. So we'll just wait for everyone to get back. We're still waiting for room 7, 8, 9. I think they're still chatting about this.
No, we are back.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's interesting because it says to me now, it says you're back. Sorry. And room 9, Bogdan and Suad. We're just waiting for them, but most people are back. Okay, so let's go through this. And just to say, I'll be testing you on this vocab at the beginning of class every day this week. Okay, so spend a bit of time doing it. And I'm sure, you know, step by step, these kind of classes, they can really improve your reading skills. Okay, so let's get started with this one. I want to ask, how about Banuna or Vandana? Can you say hello?
Yes.
So myth.
Yes. False perception.
Yeah, it can have a few different meanings, okay? But what's the form of the word as well? Is it a noun, verb, adjective? A myth?
It's a noun.
Noun.
Yeah, and it's a false, say that again, Vandana, false
Perception.
False
belief.
perception.
It
Yeah,
could
yes,
be a
false belief.
story as
also.
well. Could be a story.
Believe.
Sorry.
Now, it has another meaning as well. Like sometimes we, you know, it can be like a fairy tale as well, or like
Old story.
an old story we tell in our culture that's very important to us, even though maybe it's not true. Like it could be a religious story as well. But in this sentence, you're right, Vandana, it means false perception. Okay. What about altruistic? Sajid, could you say hello? Or Sarmila? Could you say hello, Sarah?
Hello.
Altruistic?
Selfless. Selfless person.
Say that again.
Selfless.
Selfless. Well, what does selfless mean?
Or disinterest.
Not thinking about yourself. Anyone else? What does selfless mean?
As unselfish.
Selfish opposite.
Yes.
Disinterest.
Not
Doing
egoistic.
charity.
Yeah, being charitable, giving charity, doing things for other people, right?
What about generous? Here means generous.
It can also mean generous. Well, those, Mahiba, great point. It's not exactly the same, but it's very, very close, right? So I'll put generous here as like almost the same. But then obviously generous is more about giving, right?
Giving, yes, but here.
Whereas you can be altruistic just without giving anything, can't you? You can just maybe that you don't interrupt people or something like that. Okay, so well done if you got these. I want you to study these words. One is a noun. This with IC.
Adjective.
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 The suffix tells us that it's an adjective. Okay, the odds, Amadjan or Sarmila.
Noun.
It's noun. And what's the meaning?
It is like number, percentage, or proportion.
Almost. Can you almost?
Probability.
It's probability is probably the easiest way to express the meaning, right? The probability of. So what's the probability?
Chance.
Yeah, the chance of. Yeah, the chance of. So you could say, you know, what are the odds that it will rain tomorrow? Right?
Yeah, the likelihood as well.
Likelihood. There you go. There's
Probability.
likelihood. Yeah, probability, possibility as well. Yeah. Okay, next one. Slim. What does it mean in this? Isaac, if you can say hello, or Kanku. I know maybe that you know already because what slim means.
Slim would mean chances.
What does it mean here? Go on.
Chances.
Slim doesn't mean chance here.
I think in this case it's like less than it's supposed
Very
to.
low.
Guys, here it's going to mean
It's
Small.
minimal.
Small.
Small, minimal.
Short, not a big amount, right? So obviously slim, if you look at your cameras, guys, slim, when I was younger, I used to be more slim, right? We're talking about being fat, right? Or not fat. But in this phrase, it just means not a big amount, right? Or small, or you get the idea, okay? Small. Okay, stipulated is a very difficult one. You'll see this in the exam tomorrow, I think, probably in the question. No, Wednesday, you will see this on Wednesday, this word. Mohammed, Najibullah, Nusa, can you guess?
Yeah, it's like when you say something or specify something.
Stated clearly.
Stated clearly, documented.
Yeah, document, like write it down, right? Officially, maybe state, right? Like as in, or write down, yeah. Now, what type of word is it, everyone?
Verb.
Verb.
Yeah. So it's your specific requirements. Does that make sense? I'm going to make this clearer. It's your official requirements. It makes sense. So in your, when someone does a concert, I imagine who's a famous singer that we all know? I don't know. I'm so old. Imagine Sting. Sting? Did someone say Sting?
Ariana Grande, because in Manchester.
Ariana Grande. Okay, so when she okay, good example. So she's very famous, right? Now, when she plays a concert, she will stipulate what she wants at the concert, right? So she wants probably food and drink and place to relax, place to change clothes. That's a stipulation. It's what you want, what your requirements are. Okay. Is it a noun, verb, or adjective? It is a verb. It's actually, here's past participle, right? Because you have auxiliary verb. Okay, so this is a verb. Okay, now this is a phrase here, Nilantha. Should the opportunity arise? Mohiba. Maybe this one is too easy, I don't know, but I thought we should check it. Should the opportunity arise, the family will decide on what they will do. What does that mean? Nusa, Mohiba?
Should the opportunity arise, like the
If
to
it
go
is
up,
clear.
to go up the opportunity, like when you give something or give something to someone, to choose. Oh, I don't know how to explain. I know the word.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Yeah.
But it's
Well, the reason why
arise is go up.
The reason why I chose it, Nusa, is that usually should means what? Usually should is like a synonym, must do it or something like that. It's not exactly the same as must, but you get the idea. It's like a obligation.
Obligation, yeah, exactly, obligation.
But
must you have to do, but should you have option.
But this is not the meaning here. The meaning is if the chance
or the possibility
happens, if the possibility.
Expect.
Right? So sometimes you've got to be careful of this in English. Sometimes the word should can also mean if. For example, the medication, he can take paracetamol should it be required. That means if, okay, even though it's so it's a very strange use of that word. Okay, misconception I think is probably easy. Najibullah, you want to help us? Safi, you want to help us? Tayaba, misconception is a
Misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding. Anything else?
False conviction.
False conviction. Yeah. False
Mistake.
belief. Yeah, a mistake is kind of a misconception. Yeah, mistake makes. I'll say a mistaken idea. Right, it's to do with believing and having an idea, right? What's a conception? What does that mean? Concept.
Adverse thinking.
concept.
That's one way. It's not a very natural way to say it, but yeah, but it would be a bad conception, right? Concept, bad concept.
Concept, idea.
Yeah, conception, concept, idea.
And also there is prefix miss. When come miss, it means negative.
So exactly, because we have this, even if you didn't know that word, I'm sure many of you already know that, but if you didn't, you can rely on the prefix here.
Is it possible to say imagination as well? Is the meaning imagination?
Yeah, because imagination and idea and belief, they're very close. So yeah, you know, maybe like you could say, you have a misconception means that you have imagined it incorrectly. You could say that. Yeah.
Misperception.
Also,
a misperception. Yeah, misperception is a very strong one. So I'll put this here. A misperception.
You are mute.
Conception means, I think, thinking, and misconception is misthinking.
Idea.
Yeah, exactly right. So bad concept. A mistake is a, yeah, exactly. It's gone wrong. Now, I'm going to move on from this one because the next one is very, very interesting to me. I wonder if you guys got it right. Sahar, can you put your microphone on, please? Or Mercy. Sahar or Mercy, please.
Yes.
So Mercy, all right. I'm going to say this is a phrase, all right, because I want these two words together. What does virtually all mean?
Nearly all or.
Is she right, guys? Nearly?
100%. Yes, from
Generally,
distance, in
Almost.
general, overall.
Almost all.
What does virtual mean? Does anyone know what virtual means?
Yeah, from distance, isn't it?
Not real.
Yes, I know. Yes.
Not face to face.
Practically.
Well, this is the thing. Mary, you said not real. Yes and no, right? Virtual is like, it is like real, but not real, right? And does anyone know the suffix for virtual?
That's Lee.
Ali.
Adverb, Lee.
Yes.
Lee.
What I mean is, if I want to say, I take the word,
Adverb.
if I take human.
It is adverb now.
Not
Humanly.
Humanity.
I did not explain it very well. I know you guys know that, but if I want to get that meaning in the same word as any word, like car or human, has anyone ever seen this? Humanoid. What does that mean, humanoid?
Something like
virtual.
Human life.
Virtual.
Same like human, but virtual.
It's like that thing, but it's not
It's
that.
like alien.
Yeah, humanoids.
Robot.
Aliens
Robot,
aren't
robot.
they look like humans, exactly. So
Human
you don't have to say, you might see this in the reading, guys. It might not say humanoid. It might say, I don't know, anything, or you can have anything with oid, right? It could be a medication oid, right? It means virtual, like resembling the thing, but not the thing. Does that make sense? Nozad, I think you want to come in here. Nozad?
Yeah.
I think that would be a good piece of, guys, write that down because you might see that. I've seen that before in OET, oid, okay? It means virtual. Virtual means like it's real, but not real. Okay, more likely, this is we already said likely here, likelihood. What does likely mean, guys?
Yes, probably.
Probably.
If I say I am likely to go to the cinema, what does that mean?
There is possibility.
It's a possibility. It's a great possibility that
great
you will.
possibility. So a good chance, right? A good chance. So if I say what's the likelihood, that means probability. But if I say I am likely to do this, that means it's
certain.
probably I will do it.
Yes.
Okay. He is likely to die. You don't want to hear that phrase, right? It means it's a good chance he's going to die.
Alan, can we use it seem to?
No, it's stronger than seems, but
More likely it seemed to.
you could say it seems that he will die. Yeah, but this is more strong than seems he will die. Yeah.
Almost certain.
Yeah, if I had to put a number on it, it's like 80%, something like that, ish, more or less. Okay, so he is likely to die. Your patients will understand, or he is likely to not die. You could say that, and your patient will understand there's a good chance. Okay, all right, correlation. Bogdan, Daniela, correlation.
Relation.
It's a noun, and it means relation. Tell me more. Relation.
Connection. Associated with.
A link.
Think related.
Link.
A link, yeah, or more specifically, to give you more specific.
Associated.
Actually, it's more specific.
Interconnection.
Associated.
Yes, Now, there you go, Ednea, interconnection. So I want to say it's when one thing changes, another seems to change, right?
Can we say association, correlation, association?
These are very general. So you could say that, association. But more specifically, it's meaning, you know, this one is changing and this, they're both changing together. That's the kind of idea of correlation, usually. Okay. This is a very general, isn't it, idea. But if you want to have a specific idea of what a native speaker will be thinking of when you say that, it's this. One thing changes, another seems to change. So you could say there is a correlation between, you know, the new medication and her new symptoms, for example. Okay, let's move on to this next one. This is very important. Outline. It's a noun. What does what does outline mean? Very, very. Let me test you because people get this wrong all the time.
Highlight something.
Say that again, Nusa. Sorry, one more time.
Highlight. To highlight something.
Now, Nusa, a lot of people say that. You're not the first person to say that to me. It does not mean highlight.
It is contour.
To tell you to.
Main idea. To give the main idea, guys, right? It can be a verb as well. It's actually a verb, sorry. To give main idea or to give, do you know this word overview?
Yeah, generally overview.
General description.
Right. It's a summarized idea. So I might say, explain what this is, please, but just give me an outline. I don't have very much time. Just an outline, please. Okay, so it's not highlighting. Highlighting is, what's highlighting, guys?
Emphasizing.
Specific. So in this sentence we're talking about, give me the main idea. Okay. Now programs. Anyone? Taba? Squad program is
Programs are programs.
An initiative, a similar program. What is it? Like some kind of policy?
ID.
Yeah, you get the idea. Policy, way of doing something. Okay. A schedule as well. Scheduled thing. So you might have different programs in the hospital, for example. Okay, we'll come back to that one if you want, but boost, everyone, easy. Verb meaning
improve,
increase, increase. And is it strong or weak or middle, neutral?
Strong. It's
very strong. If you boost something, you're really giving it some energy, right? You're really increasing it. So
firing up.
Yeah, there you go. There's a nice idiom, to fire up, or to, what else do we say? Well, often I'll say, you know, I need a boost in the morning. I need some coffee. Right? Coffee, please. Okay. Now, curative. Sarah, you're going to tell us, Sarah, or Sahar, if you guys could please, or Mariam, curative. When facing
it's able to be curing, like about disease.
Yeah, it's easy, isn't it? If you just focus on, well, what's the suffix?
Yeah, "ip."
So what's that, guys? Is that noun, verb, or adjective?
Adjective.
Curative.
So this is just simply the adjective form of
Cure.
Cure.
And I'm sure you were all studying medicine here. I'm sure the word cure, you all know that. But curative, maybe some people never saw curative. What is a curative intention, though? Mary?
Yeah, it's intention to cure disease, to treat disease.
What is
positive effect?
What does intention mean?
Intention, it's
willing
trial.
Try to cure. Okay. So there you go. There's the definition, trying to cure someone. Conveyed. Anyone? Conveyed. He conveyed. Verb.
It just transmit or give pass. Like
to pass news or something.
Pass.
Transfer.
Transfer, yeah. Transfer, to pass.
Send dire.
To tell. Maybe to tell us. Yeah, there's loads of things. It's just giving. It's giving the information, right? We often say convey. Why? Because it is more formal. So maybe you will see that in your reading exam. It just means to give. Okay. Okay, inadequate. Manuru, can you say hello? Or Dr. Saki? Fatima?
Oh.
Inadequate.
It's not enough.
Yeah. It's basically just not enough, right? Not enough.
Insufficient.
Inappropriate. Insufficient.
Inappropriate.
And this is an adjective, isn't it? Now, the reason why I include this is because in the UK, I used to work in high school, in English high schools. This word is used a lot by the government because they grade schools and hospitals, right? Hospitals in the UK can be assessed as inadequate. So what does it mean?
Insufficient.
Not up to standard.
Yeah, it means that it's bad. It's very bad for everyone inside that hospital or school. They're going to change the management. They're going to make everyone's lives very difficult. Okay, so this is a word you will see in medicine a lot in the UK. Yes.
And also, sir, regarding the prefix, there is another prefix as well, inadequate.
Yeah, exactly.
Adequate means sufficient, inadequate means insufficient.
Exactly. And Safi, I was wondering what you guys would think of this, in our own eyes. Does anyone worry?
In our own eyes means from our perspective, from our thinking.
Like point of view.
Point of view, yeah.
You will see this on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, guys. You will see this word in our own eyes. Obviously, it means in your own feeling, your own perspective.
From our judgment.
Exactly. Okay. Now, overwhelmed, Ismail. Overwhelmed, can you say hello? It's a verb here. It can also be an adjective sometimes. What does it mean here?
It's an adjective.
It's a verb, actually. It's a passive form. But it can be adjective as well. What does it mean if I say I'm overwhelmed?
Too much.
So much. Too much on your plate.
Exhausted.
Too much.
Not bearable.
Not what? Too much what?
Tasks.
It can be work, but it can also be the weight of clinical responsibility. What is that?
Too much work in the hospital, I mean, in clinic.
Weight of clinical means
it means
load of work. Load of work.
It's feelings, guys. Look, if we talk
overload.
Yeah. Do you not? I don't know what you would use in your own languages to talk about feelings, but we often talk about the weight of your feelings. Do you have that in your own? You must have something similar. Has anyone heard this phrase? He has to carry that weight. He has to carry that weight. What does that mean, guys?
Yeah, he have to carry the responsibility.
He has to be responsible, or he has to feel the depression or the bad feelings. He has to carry it all and, live his life. He has to live with feeling.
Is it can be connected with like emotional loss or something, some close person?
It's more to do with actually responsibility and guilt, actually. So it's responsibility or guilt, not so much anything else. So maybe you're feeling guilty. What does guilt mean, guys?
Guilt is guilt.
You feel that you did
For example, we don't do anything good, so we're guilty. Why we are not?
So you have to carry the weight. That's what we say. You have to carry the weight. So overwhelmed by the weight is that, the feelings are so big that it's too much. And they're very heavy as well. Okay.
Out of control also you can.
Yeah, when we're overwhelmed, we cannot cope. It's out of control. Yeah. Very strong, that word, overwhelmed. Nakov. Did anyone get nakov? It's impossible. I had to.
Alan, can we use? Sorry, Alan. Can we use overwhelm? Can we use it as an overwhelming personality?
No, but you can say it. There is a good way, right? If I say he has an overwhelming personality, that sounds. It doesn't sound natural. Okay, but I could say I was overwhelmed by him. Overwhelmed by, maybe like by meeting Ariana Grande or someone famous.
What does it mean? I was overwhelmed by meeting.
It means that maybe you had maybe you had feelings of excitement.
Okay.
Right? So,
under pressure also you can use here.
who's someone famous that we all know, that we all like? I'm trying to think. I don't follow new music.
Madonna.
Madonna. She's kind of nice, Madonna. I like Madonna. If I met Madonna, I have to say, I would be overwhelmed because she's been, what, 50 years of being this very famous person. Maybe I would be a bit shy at least, but overwhelmed is like, okay. Like people when they used to meet the Beatles in the 60s, right? They're all overwhelmed. Okay, now knack of is a noun, but I don't think anyone knows knack. Does anyone know knack?
Ability.
It's like ability.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you
Ability, skill.
Did you Google that? Or yeah, ability to.
We discuss in group.
Okay, very nice. It's the ability to, or it's like the, almost like you are lucky. The luck of having it happen. Does that make sense?
Yes. Skill to do something.
Like some things are so difficult that you just have to have a knack. You need a bit of luck, but you can create luck for yourself.
Yes.
That's a knack, right? It's like he has the knack of always winning the cricket match, right? How does he do that? So that's the idea. Yeah, so good. So, okay, tightrope to walk. We're going to do this one. Now, I'm just going to show you a picture because it's much easier if I just show you a picture. Okay, does everyone here know what a tightrope is? What is a tightrope?
Yes, it's a rope. A person walks on it to show some.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you. So this, okay. But if I say it is a difficult tightrope to walk, what does that mean? I'm going to say idiom.
Yeah.
This is a phrase.
To
walk.
Difficult journey.
Think about a tightrope. If I'm walking a tightrope, I have two problems. I have this side and I have this side, right?
It's difficult to overcome all challenges.
Yeah. So, and maybe Nozad, two people want different things from you. You cannot please everyone. Does that make sense? So maybe your manager in the hospital, one of them wants you to do things more quickly, and another one wants you to do it more slowly, right? It's a difficult tightrope to walk. So the idea is that you've got two things contrasting, and you are trying to make everyone happy. Does that make sense?
You can balance.
Well, you are trying to do it, right? So two people want different things from you, and you are trying to please both. Does that make sense?
It's like about finger here, finger there.
Yeah, and probably having children. Andrea, we were talking about your children, I think, was at the start. So it's a difficult tightrope to walk when you have two children, right? Because maybe one of them wants one thing and the other one wants the other thing, and it's difficult to do it. So you can use it in a context of family.
When we see challenging, challenge.
Yeah, if there's two challenges and they're opposing each other, then yeah. Right? Okay, I think this is the last one, and I'm going to finish this class. So remember, guys, why are we doing this? Well, for you to study this week. Remember, in the speaking, we made some diagrams. We didn't do much practice in the speaking. Same thing here. We're not practicing reading. We're just saying, please learn these words, and you will see them tomorrow and the next day. You will see these words all week. So look out for them in the reading texts. Last one, demands cannot be met. Is it too easy? Daniela, maybe this is too easy. Their demands cannot be met, so they are not happy. Okay, it's a bad thing, right? It's a bad thing. Daniela, Banuna, what does this mean? To meet?
Objectives are not met.
What does meet mean here?
To be satisfied.
Satisfy, yeah. Okay, so we cannot satisfy.
To achieve.
Or achieve, yeah. What?
Unable to achieve.
Enough.
What they
Desire.
What is demand? What is a demand?
Desire.
Need, or what they ask for.
Need.
Or need, yeah, what they need if you want, okay? So we cannot satisfy, we cannot, it's just, I chose this one because it's strange to use the word meet, isn't it? To meet a demand, right? Normally, that sounds strange. Why meet? Well, it just means satisfy. What does satisfy mean here? We cannot, sorry.
Fulfill.
Fulfill.
Happy.
Yeah, look, how about this? Much less simple. We cannot give them what they want. Okay, that's what it means.
Acceptable, you accept.
Yeah. So if we say we cannot meet the demands of the patients, what does that mean?
We cannot fulfill the needs of the patient.
We can't give them what they want, right? We can't give them what they want. Okay. So guys, I'm going to finish here. Thank you so much for watching. Please, you can download this from the website. It will be on about 6 p.m, something like that. So go and download this vocabulary, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're doing reading part C for 4 days, and all of this vocabulary will be in the texts. Okay.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you. Thank you so much. Amazing.
My pleasure. Bye, everyone. Bye, guys.